the section. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. Let's do it. You already know what time it is. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Stormy B-Man's in the building.
What's
How
up?
you doing,
What's
Sensei?
Up? It's all good, brother. Glad to be here. What's going on?
Let's give them what they came to see. James Bone Crusher Smith in the building. What's going on?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Man, listen, I see the family rolling into the building. I see the family in the building. I'm going to skip the roll call right fast. We're going to get straight to it, man. James, how you feeling?
I feel good.
Excellent, brother. Excellent. I see the family coming in. Smash the like button, share the video, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to it, man. For those of you that's been living on the moon and don't know who you are, let everyone know who you are. I'm talking to you, James.
Yeah. Well, James Bone Crusher Smith. I grew up in a small town, Magnolia, North Carolina. I currently live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Married Doreen Williams, now Smith. We married last year, and I created the Boxing Legends Hall of Fame a few years ago, and had about 70 fights, a lot of knockouts, a lot of wins, had a lot of fun, fought over 18 years. So that's a synopsis of who I am.
You fought over 18 years, and how old were you when you got started?
28 years old.
Late bloomer.
Yeah.
But look at what you accomplished, man.
Yeah.
When did you decide to get into boxing?
Well, I spent some time in the Army, and one day I was in Germany, and I walked into the gym. I always played basketball. I played basketball in high school and college, and I went in the gym one day to play basketball, and the boxing coach was in there, and he asked me to try for the team, and I did, and I guess you could say the rest is history.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you was putting people to sleep.
Yeah.
And you realize, wow, I got some talent, right?
Yeah. Big, strong guy, tall, 6'4", about 220 when I started, and hey, I was lean, mean, fight machine.
Yeah, you only got me by 2 inches. I'm 6'2", 220.
Wow.
But I'm aged out. I ain't getting in that damn ring. Yeah. But I did some things, but I never even went amateur, man. I just grew up loving the sport, man. So you turned pro. You had any amateur fights though?
Had about I think 35 amateur fights. Fought all over. And
how'd that go?
I had a few losses. I think I had about 40 fights. So about 5 losses.
Okay.
And yeah.
Is there anybody in the amateurs that you met on a pro level?
No.
Okay. All right. So your first pro fight.
Well, Marvis Frazier, I fought Marvis in amateurs. I fought him in the pros as well. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So your first pro fight. How was you excited? Was you nervous? How'd that work out?
Well, I was fighting a guy I shouldn't have been fighting, James Broad. He had won the Olympic trials, and it was my first fight. I think it was about his 4th or 5th fight. ESPN, and didn't know how to train or anything. I got stopped in the 4th round. It was a 6-round fight, and I got stopped.
That was your first pro fight?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's what we call failing forward, because a lot of people get so disgruntled they just quit.
I went back to the drawing board, and about my 3rd fight, I hired a superstar trainer, Emo Griffith. Emo Griffith was 5-time world champion, and he said, if you, with your size, if I tell you what to do, you do it, you become champion, and that's basically what happened.
So what you had to do was you had to add to your camp.
Absolutely.
So you already had physical tools. You just had to fine tune them. You need something in your corner.
I had somebody that I needed somebody I could listen to, and that had been there and done that.
Wow.
One of the reasons the guys that really don't know how to fight today is because the guys that's training them never fought before.
Yeah, I noticed that. You know, a lot of guys. What a difference a camp makes. What a difference a camp makes, man. You see some guys. A classic example of that I've seen in my time. You see a guy like the late great Arturo Gatti. His style was fun to watch, but I said, man, this guy's he's gonna die of head trauma soon.
Take too many punches.
Too many punches, and it was fun to watch for us. But I said, man, this guy when he retires, he has a family to take care of, and he ended up with Buddy McGirt, and it was like night and day.
Yeah,
it was like night and day. He's using lateral movement and he's countering. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is better.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, he still lost a little bit after that when he fought other boxers, but when he was fighting other sluggers, he made the sluggers look ridiculous, man. And that's why I'm talking to the chat now. Go watch Gatti Ward 1 and then go watch Gatti Ward 2. It's two different Gattis. Totally different, man. But so I get it, man. I get it, man. So what was your breakout fight? The fight that put you on the map that said, yo, we got to watch this guy right here.
I think when I went to London and fought Frank Bruno, Bruno was 21-0 with 21 knockouts.
Yeah.
And I knocked him out in the 10th round.
Bruno was a specimen.
Yeah.
He was a scary looking dude.
Yeah, he was 6'4", 6'5", and I fought him in Heathrow. Fought him in the Wembley Arena, and they had about 10,000 people there, and only had about 10 people in my camp. And had I not knocked him out, he would have easily won the fight.
So you was down on the cards? Or
well, you know, it was his judges, and he was going to win the fight. See, you know.
Now, are you saying that you didn't trust the judges, or did you feel that you was winning or even, or you just?
I'm fighting in his home country, and he's undefeated, and he's in line to fight for the title. I was a tune-up, so I tuned him up.
Ooh.
The same as Mike Weaver.
Yeah, they brought you in as a sacrificial lamb, and the lamb grew teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The lamb turned out to be the wolf, man. Ain't that something, man? I remember the Bruno fight.
Yeah.
And this guy was knocking over trees, man. He's a big, dark-skinned brother, menacing. Yeah. And they were about to put him in the ring with Iron Mike.
Yeah.
And you came in and said, hold my beer.
Yeah.
And that round 10, you got him out of there. That I remember.
Yeah.
That I remember. So that's how you got the Mike Tyson date?
Well, how I got the Tyson fight when I beat Witherspoon, because HBO had a tournament to make one champion, and so we were in that tournament, Witherspoon.
HBO had a tournament to make one champion.
Yeah.
Wow, Stormy, they don't do that these days, do they? They don't do that. That's crazy. Stormy, take it from here, brother.
No, well, just recalling the fact that when you asked that question about his breakout fight, I already knew which fight it was, but I wanted to let him tell that story. But for those of people out there today, you have to understand that history often repeats itself. Mm-hmm. And right now we have a man that he's no longer a heavyweight champion, but kind of similarly along the lines of Bone, where he came to the sport late, and that's Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
And you look at the talent that you men both have and what you brought to the table, and all it took was someone focusing you and pointing you. Like for you, it was Emil, you know, but Frank Bruno is no joke. And for those out there who like to call current fighter, you know, Anthony Joshua, Frank Bruno 2.0, they are far off with that. Frank Bruno was on an upward trajectory. And for Bone Crusher to come in there and take that away from him, give him his first loss, not only that, but in his hometown, not only that, but late in the fight, so it didn't go to the scorecards. Not only did it show champion resolve, but it also showed that you carried your power late as well as your confidence. So, you know, hats off and much respect to you on that success, because I do believe that's the fight that put you on the map. People began to take note and say, oh, this guy is for real.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that was something. The Tyson fight came years later, but that performance there, you had a way of rocking.
And then the Larry Holmes fight as well. You know, the next fight was with Larry in Las Vegas, and I took Larry. It was a 15-round fight, so I took him 13 rounds, got cut, and
I remember that.
I was hurting Larry too.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Larry was kind of at that stage at that point that he was taking a lot of guys for granted. You know, he wasn't training as hard as he used to and things like that. And he was but he had experience over you, but it wasn't necessarily the ability, because what I realized in the aftermath, hindsight always being 2020, is if you had opened up on Larry with what you brought, you wouldn't have been able to take it.
Yeah, I think if I started digging into Larry in the first round, matter of fact, and I jumped anybody that I start out in the first round, I like Witherspoon. If I'd have fought Larry, any of the other guys, like I fought Witherspoon, the second Witherspoon fight, I'd have knocked any of them out. Yeah. They couldn't have taken the.
You cut Larry first.
Yeah,
in that fight, you cut him first.
Yeah.
And
but I started digging into him late. It was late in the fight when I really started hurting him.
Let me take you down memory lane. You remember this moment?
Bruno.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, like right about here, they stopped this fight these days.
Oh, he's
I
hurt.
don't know why that ref let this go on. This is crazy. Oh. Oh.
And you, unlike a lot of other guys, put Frank down. Frank stood up and took beatings from some guys, but you actually put him on the canvas.
Yeah.
I think you and Witherspoon both put him on the canvas.
Yeah.
But Tyson and Lennox and those other guys that defeated him, they weren't able to get him off his feet.
Yeah.
You know, you got your resume through the 80s and 90s, man. There's nobody. Is there anybody that you didn't fight?
I fought 10 world champions during my career. 10 world champions.
God damn, who else has done that? Tell me, who else has done that? 10 world champions.
Only Ali.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's Ali though. But next to Ali,
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's important. You see what I said right off the top of my head when
Ali.
I said probably Ali.
Yeah,
I can't think of
Larry
anybody else.
Larry Holmes too.
Holmes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fought a lot of champions.
You're in an elite group, James.
Yeah.
You're in an elite group, and I don't think you're spoken about enough. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Trick Notes in the building. Salute.
Trick.
What's good, Trick? What's up, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
As y'all can see, Trick Notes, he's on the job. Y'all already know what time it is, man. When y'all see the guest up here, y'all hit this man up. Y'all know what to do, man. For real, Trick, man, how you been, my brother?
I'm doing great. I haven't spoken with a lot of y'all, but with the chat, how was everybody's holiday?
Man, we good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
Hey,
I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Stormy, Sensei, Drew, and Bone Crusher Smith, man. Hey, big fan of yours.
Hey.
Like I say, man, for the past few years, man, I've been reaching out to the old school fighters like yourself, man. Let you know, man, we don't forget about you, man. And just watching that clip with you and Frank Bruno, man. Man, that left hook that you ended the fight with, man, was beautiful, man. So, man, I'm sitting there buzzing talking to you right now, man. So, it's great. It's great to be here and be talking with you. And
Yeah.
when we spoke on the phone, you talked about your the South Carolina Hall of Fame. Could you let the chat know what you're working on with that?
Yeah, let's do that.
It's a world event. I just hosted in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But our goal is to build a museum probably in the next couple of years, maybe 3. And we want to invite boxers from Texas, from all over the world to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Well, I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to be there. We have more than enough time to make it there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could book a flight. I mean, I'm coming down from New York. That's not even an hour flight, if I'm not mistaken. It's like up and down, and I hate flying. But and I got family in South Carolina anyway. You know, so you know, I forgot exactly where, but I know how to get there by driving. But
Jackie Frazier, probably Joe Frazier's daughter, probably be coming. She was inducted in the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and she don't like for us to advertise her too much because she's a Supreme Court judge. So, but we can't do that too much. But she likes to come to Myrtle Beach. Her and her husband, they love to come to Myrtle Beach.
Oh man, I want to come there, and I want to video everything, and
yeah,
I will promote it, James. I will definitely promote it.
Yeah,
you know, I will advertise for it, man, and because you know this is what we like to do, man. We actually appreciate what you guys have done. You guys put your life on the line for our entertainment, literally.
Yeah.
And that's why I get so aggravated with the cheating culture in the sport, especially today with all these new drugs. And it's like, man, you guys could die. One punch could end your life.
Yeah.
You know, we had Angel Man Freddie on here last year. That was last year, right, Trick? That was last year. And I watched that brother on HBO, and I watched him versus Floyd Mayweather. I watched him a lot of fights, and we had him on here, and that's not the guy that I came up watching, man. You know, he has problems with his brain now. One of the eyes don't blink properly, and it's like, oh shit. And in my opinion, you know, I mean, look, boxers should have a pension, but when you start talking about things like that, that'll undercut all these middlemen, these promoters, these managers, because them being independent, these boxers being independent or signed exclusive with these promotional companies, it's worth more to the people that own them. But if boxers had a union, and y'all were under this union where y'all were paying yourselves, you ain't gonna need promoters and managers. And on top of that, the public will get fights that they want. Not even fights that they want, but rankings would mean something, because today rankings mean nothing. It's all about the popularity of the fighter. You know what I'm saying? You got guys that are champions, but when they're going to face some person that's barely ranked, if that person has 1 million Instagram followers, that person is the A side in the situation. So you'll have a guy who is not even a champion making more money than the champion in their respective weight class. And it's disgusting. And I get it, but I don't like it. I get it, but I don't like it. You know, and things don't, you know, boxing, in my opinion, in all combat sports, things should happen organically. Not even in combat sports, in all sports, things should happen organically. But today, they're playing chess. Right now, there's somebody in Top Rank doing matchup making. We don't want to put this guy who's a champion in the ring with this guy that's ranked number 6, because this guy will box his face in. So we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna take this guy, and we have like a 4 or 5 year plan to put this guy on top, because it will maximize our dollar. He comes from a third world country, and we're gonna get behind him. You already know I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao. Some news came out recently, James, about this guy. What's that guy? What's the ref's name? Stormy. He ref Thriller in Manila. Padilla. This guy he just did an interview just last week saying that he cheated for Manny Pacquiao.
Alex Padilla.
Alex Padilla.
Zach.
Zach Padilla, that's his name.
Alex.
Zach Padilla.
He's a piece of shit. He's a
Mm.
piece of shit. That's what he is. He's a piece of shit. And he needs to get his old ass needs to get kicked down a flight of stairs. I hate what they did to Hussein. That's fucked up. I don't like that. 22 years ago, because we're in the year 2000, okay? 22 years ago, he refereed Manny Pacquiao versus Nadal Hussein. Hussein was kicking his ass, dropped him with a left jab. Manny was out. Padilla does an interview saying that he gave Manny a 17 count, and he's in the interview saying, we know how to do this. We're trained to do this. And I'm listening to this. I can't believe this. This is gold. And then he took a point, and then there was an accidental clash of heads. Told the judges that it was from a punch. They stopped the fight, and Manny gets the nod. Now here we are, 22 years later. Can you imagine what Hussein dealt with after that fight? His career went in one direction, and we all know who Manny Pacquiao is now. You understand? So here we are 22 years later. This is so hot right now. It was on CNN. And now they're like, yo, you know, I commented on his Instagram and he responded to me. He says, man, F the WBC. The WBC did this to him. It was more than the refs. It was more than the judges. And the fact that Manny Pacquiao was in the Philippines, that did help. He already, as soon as he landed in the Philippines to fight him, he needed a knockout to win. I tell people all the time, when you go to someone else's backyard, James, when you went to beat on Frank Bruno, you was already down on the cards, five rounds before the bell rang. You was already down.
I started behind, 5 rounds behind.
Yup. If he'd have got up off that floor and just made it to 12, they'd have robbed you.
Yeah.
And years later, we'd have been talking about how it was a robbery, but there'd have been a bunch of UK fans telling us we're just making excuses.
Yeah.
See, this is the shit we deal with on the daily, but time reveals all truth. So now Padilla, in his old age, came out and said all this shit, but he wasn't, when I say old age, I think he's at a point where he don't give a shit. Because his family came back and they said, well, he's old, he's getting senile. Fuck that. He wasn't stumbling on words. He knows what he did.
Hey, my wife's in the background.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We fire shots here, but I'm gonna be respectful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Tell the missus I apologize, Miss Smith.
Okay, she hear you. She can hear you.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I respect my elders. You gotta watch your mouth.
That's it.
This drives me crazy about the sport because I mentioned that to say this. You guys do so much. You go to camps, you sacrifice time with your family, and not everybody makes, Floyd Mayweather money. At any point, It could be over for you.
Yeah.
And the least the public could do is support you guys, number one, and number two, support a clean sport and a fair sport.
Yeah.
I mean, these days, I would have, if you and Frank was in your prime, I'd have been telling you, James, don't go to the UK and fight that guy. There's so much going on over there right now.
Yeah.
Don't go over there and fight that guy. And the rabbit hole goes deep, but I'm glad you did it, and we have it on video. And this is no shade to Frank Bruno. But you was up against it, and he knew that. And I'm glad you came out on top. My brother Jafar Cesar says that's where he lives, and he's South Carolina. He said, I think I sparred your grandson. You have a grandson that fights?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Trick.
Yeah, and Bone Crusher, when you fought Frank Bruno, there were no judges for that fight, right?
Just the referee.
Just the referee, yeah. So, man,
there was no what?
There were no judges, just the referee. That's right, Trick.
Wait a minute. Okay, I just learned something. Tay Jones in the building. Wait a minute.
The referee was gonna raise Bruno's hand. You know that for the winner, that he made it the distance. Did you ever,
after you stopped him, did you bother to look at the scorecards leading up to that round?
No. He was leading. He was winning the fight. I knew he was winning the fight. I was behind. I knew that.
Did you feel that you was behind, or did you say, "Yo, look, I'm behind because of where I'm at"?
No, it was on points. Bruno was up.
He was up. I knew I was behind.
Okay.
He was being
okay.
outboxed. But Bone took it into his own hands and was able to, you see, that's the difference. You know, people talk about certain fights and matchups, but when a fighter decides to try to take his fate into his own hands, especially late in a fight, when you make that decision that I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna roll the dice and see what I can get done. Half the time when that happens, the person that you're doing that against doesn't meet that challenge. It usually catches them off balance or by surprise, which is why when you watch guys today, they're so accustomed to beating up on guys that on paper they've been submitted to win. So when an upset happens, it's a real shock because they've been fighting a bunch of guys that they're supposed to defeat. Danny Dubois going down in the first round of that fight this past Saturday is a perfect example of that. Now, I've heard some people talk about, well, it was kind of cold out there. The temperature was in the 40s. Well, hell, the temperature was in the 40s for Kevin Lorena, too. But he threw the punch and hit Danny upside his head and put his ass on the canvas in the first round. Why didn't Danny put his hands upside Lorena's head instead of taking 2 additional knees?
Well, you know,
in the first round? You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about these things, you have to understand. Frank Bruno, you heard me say it a little while ago, he was not a bad fighter. He was a guy that was supposed to be going places. But every once in a while, you have fighters who have ability and heart and desire to do something, like Bone was during that era. And there are guys that he come in there and he beat them because he brought a little more than what they brought on the night. You know what I'm saying? So it makes a difference. It really does. And that's why men like this should be applauded. I gave a likening. I gave you something early in this. I talked about Deontay Wilder being similar. But see, some people wouldn't see that because they'll take it like, oh, he's saying he's similar to Bone. Oh, he don't fight like that. That's not his style. That's not what I said.
Not what you said. Yeah.
But if you live long enough, you'll see the wheel turn and things come back around. That's what wisdom and experience is drawn from. You know what I mean? So again, I have something that I'd like to ask Bone, because the right hand that you had was such a killer and devastating punch. I had never seen a guy hit a guy upside the head and see a guy do almost like a helicopter in the ring. When you hit Razor Ruddock with your right hand,
he flew.
That guy flew in the air like Dennis Rodman when he would dive for loose balls.
Yeah.
You hit him with that right hand, and how he got up from it, I don't know.
You know what my goal was? To take the left ear and drive it into the right ear with my right hand. And take his left ear, drive it into the right ear with my right hand. That was the focus.
Dude,
my gosh.
I was like, holy smoke, that was a heck of a right hand.
Oh my gosh.
How did he get up, man?
Well, he got up being young. That's the beauty of being young, and he knew I was tired. His promoter, his promoter, tied my hands with I helped promote the fight, and so I was excited about having CBS and all those guys in town. So I got tired of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the punch right now. Man, look at this.
Boom. He hit that dude. Look at it.
How did he get what? He dived, man.
Yeah. That was in my hometown. That was Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But he can't. How hard of a punch he was? Because I heard
that uppercut is pretty powerful. Yeah, that's what he hit me with.
Smash. That's the smash right there.
Yeah.
When he got up after you caught him like that, were you surprised? Like, whoa, what's going on?
You know what? If you look at that punch, that's all power, because Bone was totally planted and just turned into the shot.
Right.
It ain't like he wound up like you see a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
He threw that shot and hit that guy upside the head, and it knocked him sideways.
Yeah.
You did the same thing to Mike Tyson, but why did you wait so late in the fight to do it to him?
I don't know. But I
If
hit
you
it.
had done that, no, seriously, in all sincerity, if you had done that to him early in the fight, that fight would not have gone very long at all.
That's right. I
Because
agree.
it turns out, and people found this out later, right? He wasn't the toughest guy. He was not.
Wasn't.
Right.
And he was very much mentally,
He was
kind of
offset.
like he wasn't on the level, He
wasn't all
someone,
all there.
yeah,
Right.
he always needed someone boosting him.
Yeah.
But when you hit him with that shot late in the fight,
Yeah.
I think he had to change his underwear when he left the ring. So he was like, where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? But
oh my God. Drew
again,
just got that. Drew just got that.
Oh man. He probably got out there and said, thank God it's over. I'm not doing that again. Oh man. Yeah, but
forget about a rematch.
Yeah. Did you would you have ran it back if it was
I
presented
think
to
I
you?
would have stopped in the second time.
yeah, of
Because
course.
I knew. And then what happened to me in that fight, I kind of believe, I kind of bought into the media. The media said nobody had a chance. And, they were promoting him like that, and he was stopping the guys. I mean, he jumped right on and knocked him out in the first and second round, Like,
Right, bone crusher. And people I talked to, they were saying, Jim Jacobs was saying about your punching power being overrated. What was the deal about the gloves? They didn't want you wearing a certain type of gloves. They didn't want you wearing Reyes gloves, the puncher's gloves.
yeah. Yeah, I had to wear bigger gloves.
What?
Wow.
What? Wait a minute.
But your power was
They
overrated.
did not
Put on
like
these
he
gloves
wearing
a
the
couple
Reyes
ounces
gloves. You're right.
heavier.
I mean, Trick, you're right.
So
Yeah.
wait a minute. Breaking news, y'all.
Everlast. They wanted me to wear Everlast, not Reyes. Reyes
Here
is
we go.
real tight Mexican gloves, real tight gloves.
This happens all the time.
Yeah.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh,
They put pillows on Bone Crusher's fists. You see? 2022. Now, had he had said that when the fight happened, he had to said he's just making excuses.
Excuses. There you go.
You see this? You see? It's boxing, right? Why change the go? You see? Oh man, this sport is so dirty, man. What? Come on, man.
There
Why they do
are
that?
fighters out here that you can look at what they do and say, like, wow, that person packs a punch. And then there are others that at certain times they might look like they have a little something, and then other times they don't. Those are the ones you should question with the gloves and the hand wraps and things of that nature. But fighters like Bone, they're born. They're born that way.
yeah.
From the womb, they come out being able to knock down brick walls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
something. And God blesses you that way because that's what's going to be what carries you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Other people might write novels. You knock down buildings. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna show y'all something. Mike hit you with an elbow
Yeah.
in round 11. Let me show y'all this. I just peeped this. This is crazy. Look at this, y'all. Boom, right there. Look at that. Yo,
Yeah.
Mike was dirty. Oh, yo.
Yeah. He was short. About 5'10".
My gosh, man. Mike, man. But like as the fight went on, did you realize, all right, this guy's powerful, but he's not what they
All that.
see that? You see
Yeah.
what you got in there. It's like, okay, it's not that bad,
Yeah.
And what you said if you'd have had a rematch, you'd have definitely stopped him.
Yeah.
because,
I jumped right on him like I did with the spoon.
yeah, and that's what people need to do with Mike. We'll come to find out, not like reckless like Peter McNeely did, not like that.
Right.
But you jump on him with an education. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Peter just went in there guns blazing and he paid for it.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to be able to have the ability to get rid of people too. And Bone
Yeah.
had that. You see what I'm saying?
Peter did.
It's like you can't just like, oh, I'm gonna go out here and storm, somebody, and it doesn't work that way.
And not bring the tools.
Right. And see, you weren't noted as a boxer, setting up with the jab and outpointing the guy. You was a prober. You sought that target, and then when it was there, bing, and that's okay as well. But sometimes you might have to find a point late in the fight, like you did with Bruno. Sometimes you find a point early in the fight, like you did with Witherspoon. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just about filling out and surveying the landscape. But just like we discussed about your fight against Larry Holmes, I was of the mindset, if you had jumped on Holmes and started banging him around and everything, because he wasn't the same guy, he wasn't conditioning himself the same way.
Yeah.
And you could have taken that away from him, because he relied on late rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wanted to use experience over a lot of the guys that didn't have the experience like he had. But all you had to do is look at the fight with Ken Norton that he had.
Yeah.
Ken Norton didn't really have that finishing power, but he was strong enough to be a threat.
Right.
And see, Holmes got into the late rounds with Norton, and what he had to do was just basically win the rounds, outpoint or whatever.
Yeah.
But if Norton had a little bit more of that power, or if he had a little bit more intensity like a Joe Frazier, Larry would have been in trouble.
Right. Right.
That's why Mike Weaver almost got him,
Yeah.
But so you took care of Mike Weaver.
Now, James, is there anything like in your area? This question really doesn't apply to you because you fought 10 world champions. Is there anybody in your career that you didn't fight that you say, man, you know what? If I had a chance against this guy, I'd have took care of business. Is there anybody that you could think of?
I fought pretty much everybody, Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, because that question I ask everybody, but that doesn't apply to you.
No.
10 world champions. Come on. Who else has done that? That's
plus you're from an era that guys fought each other. It's like it wasn't a lot of that. Even your fight against Greg Page. Page was an enigma. On some nights he could be on and be one of the best boxers in the sport, and on other nights you'd be wondering where his head is.
Yeah, he dropped me in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And
he could punch, even though he was a boxer.
I took him 10 rounds. Huh?
He could punch too, even though he was more along the lines of a boxer more than a puncher.
Yeah.
This is the last round. Y'all had mixed it up towards the end.
Yeah.
And see this right here. If you'd have ran at him and did this like a round, watch this count at the end. Watch this. Boom, right there. Right there.
Yeah,
right
he's
there.
hurt. He was hurt there.
He was hurt. Right there. Right there. Those little things. This right, boom, right there. He was hurt. Mike was hurt right there. Boom. Boom.
Dang.
See, there was something else that you were doing at that very moment that was very telling. Can you replay that again one more time, Drew?
Oh, sure.
From when that big right hand first landed. I'll talk us through this.
It's the first one coming up. Boom, right there.
No, it was before this. It was before this.
Before that?
Yeah. He caught him on the outside with that right hand. Here it comes. We'll see. Boom! There it is.
That one.
Right there. Now let it play through. Now I'm going to talk about what was needed against a fighter like Mike Tyson. Boom! He hits him with that shot. Right now, you see how Bone went after him, and then watch Bone push him off. He gonna push him. Watch this. Boom! Right there, just enough to get a little space so he could get his shots off. You see, he put his hands on his shoulders and push him off and start attacking him. He was not accustomed to that happening to him, and Buster Douglas did all of that as well. Plus had
a little more.
that dynamite jab.
Yeah.
You see, there's something about boxing that is very telling. That's why George Foreman was able to handle Joe Frazier the way he was, because he was physical with Frazier.
Right.
He pushed it back on his shoulders. Frazier liked to throw that left hook, and George would push that left shoulder back so Frazier wouldn't have that timing on it.
Right.
And he could hit him with a couple of shots, and Frazier got to reset. He'd do it again, push him off, and then go after him. You see, those subtleties like that. And then if he gets in too close, uppercuts greet him all night long. And those are the kind of things. But, man, I wish if I could have been there and tell you, like, you do that to him early in the fight, that fight don't go 5 rounds. I guarantee you.
Right.
Or just imagine that'd have been a 15-round fight. You could have jumped on him.
Well,
you could have jumped.
Yeah.
You could have jumped on him after the when y'all came back after the round, or what? You could just jumped on him because it's like he was still hurt. And Stormy, to put onto what you were saying, you know, tall fighters like Bone Crusher, Mitch Green, Tony Tucker, they get Tyson problems. You know, they would.
James Taylor
hold him, pull him in. Yeah, Taylor, they give him problems. Yes, the tall fighters with the reach could pull him in or whatever, they give him problems. So yeah.
You know, a lot of people blame Mike's out of the ring behavior as to why he lost to James, but I don't pay that much mind. Now James
He was doing a lot of that stuff before he fought.
Thank you, Stormy.
James Buster Douglas. He did a lot of that stuff before that. It just on that night they could say, "Oh, we'll attach it to what really happened." But I'm going to say this, and we got Bone Crusher right here to indicate the point that I'm going to make. People say Mike wasn't in shape and all of that, right, against Buster Douglas. Well, Buster Douglas was 6'4" and 230 plus pounds too, just like Bone was back in those days. Now, that's a big man in that era, okay? Mike Tyson went 10 rounds taking punishment from Buster Douglas, who didn't hit hard as this man right here.
That's right.
But he had a hell of a jab. Now, you think about it. He could not take the punishment that he took in that fight if he wasn't in condition.
That's right.
He would have checked out mentally and physically.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know any better. He took the punishment because he didn't know any better.
And he hit Buster with an uppercut that dropped him.
Yeah.
Yep, he did. He did. And so ladies and gentlemen, Mike being out of shape, that's cap. He was in shape. He goofed off in his corner. But we didn't know that until really we didn't know about his corner being bad. There was no end swell. They had a bag with water, a glove with water in it for the end swell. We didn't know about none of that until like a year later. Yeah. He wasn't thinking about that.
And he never ran it back either, did he?
Never ran, and that's my point. He never ran it back. If that was a fluke, run it back. He never did. And Buster had his 2 seconds of fame. They had a video game after him and everything else, and the rest was history. But James put those hands on Mike Tyson, and I don't care what anyone says. It happened. We saw it. You want to say it was a long count? Fine. But Mike was in shape. Don't talk to me about the out of ring behavior. He's a professional. He was supposed to come in shape, and he was in shape. James was just a better fighter that night. And this fight between Bone Crusher Smith and Mike Tyson, this is why I really wish they'd bring back 15 rounds, man. That separates the men from the boys. 15 rounds, because after what we just saw, I would love to have seen around 13. Because
by
Mike
the way, Bone, was there ever a guy that you worked with in the gym, like, you know, brought in for good sparring or whatever, that's a name fighter that we would know? Did you ever have a chance of working with some good guys giving you good work in the gym?
Jimmy Young.
Jimmy Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Young could box, man.
Yeah.
That guy was crafty.
Yeah,
and
Jimmy
he
Young.
beat George Foreman.
And I work with Oliver McCall too. Oliver worked with me. You know, he knocked out Lennox.
Yeah. And Oliver McCall was a tough guy, man.
Yeah.
From the Chi-Town. You know, I'm here in the Chi myself. Yeah. So there's tons of stories about Oliver McCall, man. That guy was, you know, the atomic bull they called him. You
Yeah,
know?
he was strong. Could punch.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Did it surprise you when he knocked out Lennox?
Yeah.
You did?
You know, I don't know how good of a punch Lennox could take, but he hit him right on the button though, and he fell right down.
Yeah. What was interesting that he had Emmanuel Stewart in his corner on that night.
Yeah.
And I remember him, you know, in an interview later that Emmanuel Stewart had told him, whenever Lennox throw his right hand, you throw yours too. Because at that time, you know, that wasn't when Lennox was working with Emmanuel. So he was wide open when he would throw the right hand because his head was never off center line.
Right.
He would just throw the right hand and he'd telegraph it.
Yeah.
So there was a sequence. Lennox threw the right hand and Oliver threw his, but the first time that happened, that exchange, it missed. And then a few seconds later, he tried it again and Oliver nailed him right on the button. Boom! And the fight was over just like that.
Yeah.
And the dude crumpled up like a whole bunch of clothes in the hamper. He was just folded up.
Our good brother Alan Davis says that Mike, he's talking about Mike, he said he got locked up. That's why he didn't run it back. Plus Holyfield fought Buster Douglas later that year. True. Mike got locked up. However, when Mike got locked up and came out, he fought Razor Ruddock twice.
Yeah.
So why didn't he run it back? Because fighting Razor Ruddock twice shows that he has a habit of getting rematches that he wants.
Well, no, the Razor Ruddock fights were before he got locked up. But what I will say is this: Buster had made a comeback,
right,
and made it up to like number 5 in the world, rated, especially with this wonderful fight he had over Quinn Navarre on national TV. Beat the crap out of Quinn Navarre, and was calling out Lennox Lewis. And Lennox pretended like he didn't even know who Buster Douglas was.
But my point of bringing up the Buster Douglas, the Razor Ruddock fights was he had a habit of running it back. You ran it back. You beat Razor Ruddock. You're supposed to be moving forward. You fought him again. So when Mike went to prison and came out, he could have pretty much been off of his name. Remember what I said earlier about rankings not meaning anything with certain people? He already had a habit of getting what he wanted. So he could have ran it back with anybody if he wanted to. He could have ran it back with Bone Crusher. He could have ran it back with Buster Douglas. As a matter of fact, a rematch with Buster Douglas would have been a blockbuster because everyone thought that Mike really won the fight anyway because of that long count. So I don't know why that fight never happened. I mean, really think about it, family. If he ran it back with James Douglas, that would have been a blockbuster. Millions of dollars. And Don King is always thinking money. So I don't know. You know,
Drew.
So, yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead. Finish your statement. I got
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
And remember when Mike Tyson got out of prison, he chose Alex Stewart. And remember we had David Eisen on the channel. David Eisen said they called him, but when they saw the way he was beating people up, they said, no, we don't want to fight you. We want Alex Stewart. Alex Stewart had already been in wars with I think Holyfield had beat him up. He'd also been in a war with Ezra Sellers at cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? He was having problems with a cruiserweight. So they chose Alex Stewart, you know, instead of going after Buster Douglas. So he was going back with Bone Crusher.
How much more time we got, guys?
Oh, you got to run, brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we ain't gonna hold you, brother. Yo, listen. Thank you so much, brother.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
I was trying to come to Murder Beats now.
Yeah. Oh, we come. I'm coming. I know I'm coming. I'm gonna actually promote it.
Okay.
I'll get your information through Anthony, and I will be in touch.
Let's do it again about the first of the year.
Absolutely.
Before
James,
May,
so
let's
much,
do it
brother.
again.
And
Yes,
you got
sir.
the numbers I sent you, right? Bone Crusher, you get the numbers on the email?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, I got it.
I've been spreading
Excellent,
the word
brother.
out for you too. Yeah,
Okay.
appreciate it, man.
Around the first of the year, let's get together again.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. We'll do
Much
that.
respect to you, champ.
Yes,
Tell
thank
the wife.
you.
Tell the wife we said good evening,
Get it? Cheers.
and forgive me for my potty mouth. I'm so sorry.
No problem. Y'all take care.
Take it easy,
All
bro.
right.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Let me put this up. Brother Tat, no, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. there was no bigger Mike Tyson fan than the world back in the 80s and 90s. But I told the story countless times.
I go in on Mike Tyson all the time on my channel. And it ain't got nothing to do with Wilder. Tat. Huh?
It ain't got nothing to do with it.
Let me just tell you something. Tat. Huh? We found out that Tyson ain't all that. You understand? How about that? Huh? You running around smoking all of that dope and everything. That's the same thing he was doing when he was fighting, but it finally caught up to his ass. You understand? Teddy Atlas was correct, but I second it. In each of the major fights that he fought that really was supposed to mean something in his career, he failed. Yeah. And he didn't run it back. Why didn't he fight Lewis in a rematch? That would have been another guaranteed double figures in millions, wouldn't it? Why didn't he run it back against Evander Holyfield without biting him? Huh? Fight. It's a fight. You in a fight already. You're the baddest man on the planet. You say, huh? Go in there and beat that blown up cruiserweight that everybody thought you would annihilate. Huh? Why you didn't fight Ray Mercer? Huh? Why you didn't fight Tommy Morrison? Why didn't you fight Michael Moore? These other heavyweights who were around in that era. Why you and Don King conspiring to fight against guys like Buster Mathis Jr. and Bruce Seldon, who quit against you? Huh? Why didn't you fight Tim Witherspoon, who was on a comeback in his career? Why didn't you fight your hometown boy, Riddick Big Daddy Bo? I could go on and on and on. But see, you guys, Mike Tyson is the god of you, huh? And while you're sucking on his schlong, huh, you're getting it all freaking wrong. I said what I said. You're welcome.
Now, here's my thing. I've been accused of hating on Tyson, I swear to God, for more than 30 years. Literally, that's the number. You know why? Or around my way, you know why? Because when I told my buddies when we were little, I said, yo, y'all, we got the video game and everything, Mike Tyson, Punch Out and all that shit. I said, listen, man, there's a guy at cruiserweight with a flat top. He specifically said, I'm coming up to heavyweight to fight Mike Tyson, and they laughed at him. They said, who? I said, his name is Evander Holyfield. Now, I follow boxing a little closer than a lot of my friends did, and they said, oh, man, can't nobody beat Mike Tyson. But we were kids, but I said, no, I'm telling you. And I'm telling them about his fights with Muhammad Karwi and everybody else, and they laughed at me. And I said, look, watch. Now, the fight, then that shit took place later in life, but the outcome was the same. And what I noticed was there was a lot of excuses made for Mike Tyson. They said, hey, man, if Mike hadn't went to jail, he'd have beat Evander because he lost his step when he went to jail. And I said, wait a minute. Mike had how many fights with Riddick Bowe? Got knocked out in the third one. He had heart problems. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Almost knocked him on his ass. Stormy, who was that? Burt Cooper had Evander. When Mike was in prison, Evander was busy. I'll say it again. When Mike Tyson was in prison, Evander was busy. He was busy. So if anybody had a better chance, when Mike went to prison, he wasn't doing hard time and ballooned up to 400 pounds. He was preserved. So that's why, if you remember leading up to the fight, my friends kept telling me, Mike's going to hit Evander in the chest and he's going to catch a heart attack. Because remember, he had heart problems. I remember hearing that. I said, bro.
All of that stuff. His lackluster effort against Bobby Chaz is what made Don King tell Mike, the time is right for Evander now. He don't look too good. He looking old and finished. Let's take him. But you don't know. You have to look at the character of the man. Mm-hmm. Getting the fight against Mike Tyson turned Evander's clock back about 3 to 4 years in his career, because he had always wanted to fight the man that everybody said he couldn't beat. And that's what means something in a sport when you have someone who relishes challenge. Michael Jordan used to do that. He used to find things within a game to keep his interest engaged. You understand? He would look through the score sheets from past opponents and say, oh, I didn't shoot too well on that night or whatever. So my focus tonight is make my baskets. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. See, that's a guy who can constantly put himself in a position to be successful because the talent level is so high. The bar is set so high, they have to find ways to motivate themselves. You think I'm lying? Sports doctors will tell you these things. I'm just a guy on YouTube. But let somebody prove me wrong in what I'm saying. You understand? And understand that this has nothing to do with my love for one fighter over another or anything. I'm telling you facts. Because there are the guys today that would apply to. I just showed you the similarities between Deontay Wilder and Bone Crusher Smith. If Deontay never wins the heavyweight title again, he still has made his mark in history that cannot be denied. Who do you know has either knocked out or put on the canvas every opponent that he's faced in a damn near 50-fight career? I'll wait.
All right. Well, let me say this. All right. Well, Tat, brother, I'm reading what you're saying in the chat. Tat.
Yeah, Tat.
Right, what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna drag people. Let's not drag anybody. All right. Because right now, we're moving the goalposts now. All right, we're talking about drug use and everything. We could throw salt and dirt on a lot of fighters. We could. James Toney's one of my favorite fighters of all time, but I do know that the man popped dirty. I do know that. I did say that although he outstyled John Ruiz, who I couldn't stand because he was boring as hell. All right.
Mike Tyson has come out and admitted he used something.
Yeah, he did. On top of the cocaine, he be high.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I don't want to drag anybody.
But but see, again, remember, I'm not trying to go there. I'm making valid points. And a person that is in their feelings and emotions, which is a characteristic, it's a woman, female trait, might I remind. You understand? Learn how to use this, less of this, to sustain this.
Look, with Mike Tyson, let me, you want to know what bias is right now? I want every black athlete in life to shine. That's just me, period. I want every black fighter to shine. Now, putting aside the stuff outside the ring with Mike Tyson, I live in New York. There was things I've seen with my own two eyes, and I'm like, that's not good, you know. But I'm not running around on a smear campaign because there was shit that I've seen that didn't make the news. But if you talk to people that was around the club scene back in the 90s, they can tell you some stuff. Fat Joe told a story. That story was true, 100% true, about how he went to the tunnel on the west side, and they didn't let Joe and his people in. Mike Tyson shows up, and Joe's outside, and he's like, yo, why you not inside? He's like, yo, the bouncer won't let us in. They said it's a fire hazard. Mike started chasing the fucking 6'5", 300-pound bouncer around parked cars. That's a true story that happened. I'm like, what the fuck? Hence, they got into the goddamn. If y'all from New York, y'all remember the tunnel. Every story you heard about that club was true. It was true. The last thing that the tunnel ever did big was DMX's first video, Where My Dog's At. That was filmed in the tunnel. All right, the bathrooms was co-ed. That's how fucked up that club was. You want to talk about hood? They let you in with boots on. It was a problem.
Check this out, Drew, for more sports medicine and history. Buster Douglas, after he lost to Evander Holyfield, went into a little bit of a depression and everything, right?
Yeah.
And his weight began to balloon and balloon and balloon to the point that he went into a diabetic coma.
Yeah, I remember that.
and word was bad. He was in such bad shape and everything.
Thought he was gonna die.
When he came out of that situation, he thought he'd try to just go back to the gym and get himself back into shape because that's how he knew how to do it best. When he finally got himself down to where he could be compared to weights that he fought at, he decided to start boxing again. And he found out that the talent was still there. He had a comeback. And like I said, he made it all the way up to number 5 in the world. And with that victory over Quinn Navarre, which was on national TV, he began to call out Lennox Lewis, who was the heavyweight champion at the time.
He was right there.
Totally ignored Buster Douglas. Hindsight being 2020, it is stated now that even Emmanuel Stewart knew that the one Achilles for Lennox was not punchers, but guys who had great jabs.
Yeah.
Lennox never wanted to fight another fighter that had a great jab. So he bypassed on Buster. Buster ended up taking a couple of busy fights, and he ended up getting stopped by what's the muscular
Louis
kid
Monaco.
named Louis
Louis
Monaco,
Monaco.
and then later Lou Savarese, and he decided to retire. But do you know what they realized after he suffered that diabetic coma? It was like a stroke. He had stroke-like symptoms from the situation. His punch resistance wasn't the same.
That's right. Correct.
Prior to that, he had never been knocked out. So he's still a hell of a man and a champion. Always will be a champion for conquering your God, Mike Tyson, but to come back from a diabetic coma and find out that the only thing he can't beat is what Mother Nature puts out there.
What's on in there?
And if that means that your punch resistance be removed from you, you should get out of the sport. So salute to James Buster Douglas. You see, if you guys want to learn something, start, like I've often said, read. Don't go Google. Read. Open up some books and educate yourself so you can fortify yourself in a position that you think you might want to take. Because if you're not educated on something, then your position may be off.
That's right. You know, those are the things that you won't. This is the kind of conversation you won't get on ESPN. You'll get the outside story, and I'm gonna bring this up again. Nadal Hussein was robbed 22 years ago. But can you imagine being Nadal Hussein and a family member or close friends, and then you're talking to other fans and talking about, I got robbed, man. It's a long count, and it was a headbutt, not a punch. Try having that conversation with a Manny Pacquiao fan. Do y'all remember what these internet streets were like when Manny was hot? No one will want to hear it. No one wants to believe you. And then now look, 22 years later, Manny's just now saying, "Yeah, I'll give you a rematch now." Means nothing. I told Nadal on Instagram, I said, "Man, these guys are corrupt up to their eyeballs." Now, in the event that they do fight, I think everything about that should go to the pockets of Nadal Hussein. He should get all the money, all of it. Because the trade-off is what? Manny Pacquiao went on to have a fire career, Hall of Fame. And he's just another victim of the sport of boxing. So when we bring stuff up like that, it's all relevant. We love Mike Tyson. I didn't want to, listen, I think prison was the best thing for Mike Tyson. You know why? The way he was going, somebody was going to blast him in the street. Ain't nobody was fighting Mike Tyson in the street. And I told y'all this all the time. When he showed up to these clubs, he knew who not to deal with. Because at those clubs, there was real street dudes out there. he would bypass all the street dudes because all of them had hammers on them, and he'll go bully the dude would stand on the line and get in the club with his girl. You know, that's just who he was. You ain't fighting him. I ain't even gonna get into it, man. I've seen things on my own 2 eyes, like, damn. But, you know, him getting found guilty on some nonsense, because let's be clear, he went to prison on some nonsense. It was nonsense. He got lied on, and they just threw the book at him. He gets locked up, but that was God saying, slow down. Your work here is not done. I got other plans for you, dude. Slow down. I'm gonna have you go sit down for a minute. At the top of your career, you need to go have a seat. That was God saying, child, go to your room. This is your room. Go sit your ass down. You're doing too much. And Mike was doing too much. He was doing too much. And Mike today is not the same guy he was 20 years ago. He's not. You're supposed to grow. You're not supposed to be the same person you were 5 years prior. You're supposed to learn. You're supposed to fail forward. You understand? And what he is outside the ring manifested itself in, what he was outside the ring manifested itself inside the ring. All you had to do was do what Evander did. Hit him back and say, yo, I'm here. Hit him back. You just heard James Bone Crusher Smith say, yo, if I'd have jumped on him early, it'd have been a different fight. He just said, I'd have stopped him in the rematch. All you had to do is hit the bully back. Usually that's what it is. Hit him back. And show you do that.
When Mike Tyson came out of prison and was starting his, whatever you want to call it, comeback career, because you look at the people he fought, Don King offered him $30 million to face George Foreman.
$30 million.
He told Don King, you fight him.
Damn.
Evander,
this is the old fat George.
Evander Holyfield fought who in his first heavyweight title defense after defeating Buster Douglas? He fought who?
Didn't he fight
George Foreman.
George, yeah, for a big George.
And Stormy, let me say this also. Who did also give Holyfield credit because he fought Ray Mercer coming back. I think off the one of Riddick Bolas, he fought Ray Mercer, a tough Ray Mercer. So,
absolutely.
Nobody talk about
was
that.
The first person to put Ray Mercer on the canvas.
That's right.
Ray Mercer took a knee against Holyfield.
Yep. Yeah, he did. So if you really want to, like, they're retired now. Matter of fact, I want to play this commercial that they did. It's funny as hell. If you really sit down and compare resumes and look at it in black and white, outside of Mike being the youngest heavyweight champion, if you look at what's in black and white, who has a better resume, list of accomplishments? There's no comparison, in my opinion.
Right.
There's no comparison.
Let's not forget that Evander became undisputed cruiserweight champion before moving up to heavyweight.
Before moving up. Yeah. And this isn't no shade to Mike. It has nothing to do with what he said about Deontay. I've been saying this about Mike since I was 16 years old, and before all of the jail stuff happened and everything else. I said, look, he's nice with it, but there's things I want to see him do. But my conversation about boxing back when I was 16 was above my friends. They were still on football and basketball and baseball, but I was like the only one in my group that paid attention to boxing. You know what I'm saying? And my conversation was different. I said, yo, Mike is nice with it, but I need to see him do this and do that. And what about Evander? I mentioned George Foreman, Ray Mercer. My friends didn't even know who the fuck Ray Mercer was. I said, what am I? That's when I stopped talking boxing around my friends. I said, oh, I can't talk to these guys. They think Mike Tyson is Jesus. He could walk on water.
Yeah.
And I said, no, he's not. He's nice with it. He's done some good things in that ring. He's tough. But I see something, and there's guys around here. You know what I'm saying? When he came back, I was saying when he came out of prison, I said, man, the division is hot right now. In the 90s, when he came out, the division was hot. David Tua, Ike Ibeabuchi, Chris Bird. Now, those three names I just mentioned, y'all probably saying, oh, well, he the fuck Chris Bird up. Really?
Actually, those guys were just a couple of years later, though.
Now watch
if you look at the guys, like Ray Mercer was a guy who was he was just on the cusp. But something happened with him and he started cutting corners.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I feel he lost the decision to Lennox Lewis is because he didn't get in the best shape that he could get in for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
He came in against Lennox, I think he was 230 something pounds. And his optimum weight was somewhere between 220 and 225. So he robbed himself against Lewis. And that was a split decision victory. It wasn't a unanimous decision victory.
And Lennox wouldn't run it back.
Lennox would not run it back. And it was one of those fights again. And Lennox was known to fight people. So you have to understand, he wasn't going to take that chance against somebody who, you know, and like you heard me mention Tim Witherspoon, who had a stretch of a comeback during that era as well. He fought Ray Mercer. That heavyweight fight is a classic, by the way, between Witherspoon and Mercer. Riddick Bowe wanted no part. Yeah, Riddick Bowe wanted no parts of Tim Witherspoon, who was calling for Bowe at the time.
Look at this, y'all. This is funny.
I was thinking, cherry pie punch will punch you in the pie. Cherry pie punch, and it will punch you the fuck out.
And it will punch you in the eye.
It'll punch you right in the pie.
Oh, punch you right in the pie. Oh, okay. And it will punch you right in the eye. And the pie will punch you in the eye. Pie will punch you in the eye?
The pie.
And we'll punch you right in the pie.
No eye.
Pie in the eye. Well,
Cherry punch pie will punch you in the motherfucking eye. Oh, I forgot this about the
it will. Okay. Will punch you in the pie. Got it.
My ears don't taste like cherry pie. Yes, they do. Well, I should know. That wasn't even in it, right?
Feel like some gay ale, man.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny, man.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny, man. Look, I'm happy that, you know, they made up and everything, man. Look, Mike is an all-time great. He has great accomplishments. Evander, he needs his own Hall of Fame. You know, no shade to Mike. I'm just calling it how I see it. You know,
Mike is the youngest heavyweight champion of all time.
Of all time, you can't take. And Trevor Berbick was a quality guy. He had just beat Larry Holmes. He was quality. Look, my only thing with Mike Tyson, you gotta understand. I've been fussing with Mike Tyson fans in New York. Was equivalent to fussing with Manny Pacquiao fans, like how we did it online. That's how bad it was in my city, at least. I can't speak for anybody anywhere else. Here, when I'm like, yo, pump your brakes on some of the Mike Tyson stuff, people be ready to fight you. It's like, yo, bro, what are you talking about? No. What about this guy? What about that guy? What about this guy? It's like, well, yeah, this is things he should have did. And then, oh, well, you know, he got jerked in Japan. Okay. So, watch this. How come he didn't run it back? He could have. He could have did anything he wanted. He didn't do it. But when he gave you Evander Holyfield, what happened? And then even after what happened with Evander Holyfield, my thing was, anytime Mike Tyson lost, there was an excuse for the baddest man in the planet. There was an excuse. There was an excuse for Buster Douglas. There was an excuse when he lost Evander Holyfield. He lost Evander Holyfield. They say, oh, it's because he was in prison. I said, no. In prison, did he fight Riddick Bowe 3 fucking times? Did he do any of that? Did he fight Ray Mercer? Any of those things? And then when Mike got out of prison, there was so many other fighters he could have chose from. And then there was an excuse for that. And then when he starts getting knocked around and getting knocked out, it was now he's old. And it's like, yo, stop making excuses for the guy.
Before facing Evander Holyfield, his 3 fights were Peter McNeely, Buster Mathis Jr., and Frank Bruno. Then Bruce Seldon before Evander. That is not a list of guys to get you ready for top opposition.
not. I agree. It's not, you know. My only thing with Mike Tyson was, you know, pump your brakes. He's great in his own right, but there was things that he was beatable, man. And I just got it just used to frustrate me. And this is way before anyone knew what a Deontay Wilder was. I've been having this conversation about Mike since I was 16 years old. Earlier than that. Well, I'm gonna say when I was 16, I was able to have an educated conversation about boxing. You understand what I'm saying? Because I knew more than the people I was talking to. And I'm like, yo, look, no, hold on. There's this, there's that. He's not doing this. He's not doing this. This guy, that guy. You know, now people was like, oh, you gonna tell me he ducked Tommy Morrison? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he was there. The difference is Lennox Lewis, he chased smoke. Mike was just sit there and things would be put in front of him and we ate it up. We would rather see him knock someone out in 14 seconds in the first round than to see him out there in the ring with somebody that actually would hit him back. Because when people hit him back, you had a boxing match.
Yeah,
now,
and he inhaled smoke.
He does it right now, and I guess it evens him out, man. But I'm glad Mike is all right. I watched him. I watched a clip of an interview he did with this Indian dude. I forget this guy. I always forget this guy's name. And he asked him. He said, "Why would you want to talk to me?" And he said to him, "Because he said something to the effect of, I wanted to, talk to a man who could beat everybody in life, got beaten by life." Something to that effect. And Mike looked at him and said, well, shit, that makes sense. Because this was the baddest man on the planet once upon a time. And he allowed life to do what it did. But what I'm proud of is that Mike is still here. Because how many tragic stories we had about athletes doing some shit. King Corleone, how you doing, my brother? That they ain't make it. They have everything in the world, money, cars, women, and they're just not at peace. And this was Mike Tyson. I remember my father used to, before he got locked up, I remember my father saying, yo, I've seen this a million times. I've seen this a million times. Y'all seen it a million times. How many people y'all know in y'all hood right now where it's like that person's there and it's like that guy right there could have been in the NBA. That guy right there could have been in the NFL, but he loved the streets too much. Or when he was right there about to go to college, or he had people coming to the hood looking to draft him, he fucked it up. He done got a girl pregnant, or he started doing cocaine, and they walk around your neighborhood right now. There's one of those people in every hood. It's like the what could have been. And some of these guys make it to the pinnacle, and then they fall from grace over choices that they made. And I did not want that for Mike. And I saw it going there. When I would go out and I saw Mike at a club, like, what is he doing? Why is he acting like that? It's so easy to get in trouble. And this is before social media, this is before the internet. There were things that people were seeing and talk about. Now what happened back then is you see it, you come back to your neighborhood and you say, yo, I just saw Mike Tyson and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, that ain't happened. I'll give you a better example. God rest the dead. Anthony Mason, former New York Knick. Okay? How many times was he in the news? He was at the China Club. He threw some motherfucker through a window. I wasn't there that night, but some people that I knew that were there, they was like, yo, that Sunday morning or whatever day it was, they called me and said, yo, Mace got into it with, he was always hanging around with, he had a brother and he had a little entourage. Anthony Mason was 6'9" and he was a brick fucking wall. A big old field Negro. He was fucking huge. And he was into the streets. And he would go to these clubs. And I seen him getting a full-blown arguments. I remember the radio station out here is Sports Radio 66. I used to work overnights. And the dude he would do the overnights was an Italian dude named Joe Beningo. He used to do the overnight out here. And I used to call the show. When I was bored at work, I called the show. And I had just told him, I said, look, man, because I would call up the show and crap on the Knicks. I would not really crap on the Knicks. I would say, yo, look, they ain't going to win this year. Oh, you from New York? You hate New York? No, the Knicks just ain't winning this year. But I was a New York Knicks hater, but whatever. Yeah, thank you, Thomas. WFAN. So I say, yo, look, man, y'all got other problems. I said, your boy Anthony Mason, 6th man of the year, he like these streets too much. He gonna get in trouble. Well, why do you say that? He says, oh no, Tat, that wasn't, no, that wasn't him. I heard who it was, but it wasn't Mace. Y'all go listen to that song. That song is a true story, but it wasn't Mace. Mace would have killed me. I don't think it wasn't Mason. It wasn't Mace. It was, I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't gonna say it. But it was a Nick. I heard it was a Knickerbocker, but it wasn't Mason. Now I never called Steve Summers. He said it was, Fat Joe said it was Mace. I don't think it was Mace. I heard it was somebody else.
We heard him say he said one of them 6'5". He said 6'5".
He was 6'5". So that's why people thought it was John Starks.
Yeah.
All right. I can't deny or confirm, but I know it wasn't Mace.
Alan Houston was on that team too, wasn't he?
But he's over 6'5".
That's right. Yeah. Alan Houston. Yeah.
Alan Houston's over 6'5". So they were saying it might. What is John Stark? It might. Listen, I ain't gonna say no names.
Hubert
but
Davis.
Here's the deal. It was a lot of people. It was a lot. Look.
Yeah.
Listen, it could have been Hubert Davis. I don't know. But I said, yo, Mace, like these streets, he's throwing people through the window at clubs. And Joe Meningo said, oh my God, Eric from the Bronx. I was Eric from the Bronx on that show. I called so much. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, come on. I don't believe that. He hung up on me. Well, he ain't hung up on me, but my time was up. 2 days later, what comes out on the news? He's leaving the China Club in handcuffs. And the video was already a couple of days old. See? He loved them streets too much. And I said, you know what? I know Mace is from New York and the people love him, but he need to get out this city, man. Because he gonna fuck around and get himself in trouble because these dudes in the club, not everybody outside the club are nice people. And y'all know that. There's dudes outside with cars and everything like these NBA or these NFL millionaires, but they got your money too. Now, why do you think a dude your age that's not an athlete, how do you think he afford that car? You think he's fighting you? He will put a slug in your mug, and that'll be the end of it. So Mike Tyson knew who not to bother in front of those clubs because there was a set of dudes that be on the side like, yup, he come over here, you know what time it is. We ain't fighting the champ. And the champ and his entourage, they know who not to do it to. And what I didn't want was to turn on the news one day and see Mike laying in the street. Or, you know, I can't continue no more. The bullet severed my spine. How stupid. You know, there's always somebody out here better than you. You know, and these dudes was not fighting Mike Tyson. No. And I didn't want that. And eventually Mason got traded. I think he got traded to Milwaukee or something. And, you know, the man since passed or whatever. His son play now, you know, but Mace couldn't get out of his own way. A lot of athletes can't get out of their own way. There's local guys in your city right now. I don't care if you're from New York, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, Dallas, Houston. There's always some guy that if you talk around the neighborhood, it's like, yeah, that guy. What do you think Earl Mander got? The GOAT. What do you think that was? Okay. Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, played against him at the Rucker tournament. They said, man, that guy could jump to the moon. That story about snatching 4 quarters off a backboard and putting up $1, that was the GOAT. The dude had hops out of this world. Could jump over parked cars. All the talent in the world. But Kareem went on to be Kareem. Mm-hmm. And Earl ended up being a baby daddy, a drug addict, and he fucked himself off. Yep. It was Kareem. Yeah. He could have been something. And he loved the streets too much. And what you don't want is for these athletes to fuck themselves off. And I particularly don't like that when it happens to our black athletes. I don't like that. And jail was the best thing that happened to Mike. Look at how Mike is. Mike is more at peace right now than he was when he was running the streets with millions of dollars in his bank account. You understand? Evander always been at peace. You know what I'm saying? His dick obviously works. How many kids that brother got? Jesus. He couldn't strap it up. He loved those women, boy.
Oh man.
But guess what?
Man.
He take care of his kids. He take care of his kids, man.
Evander is like Williams from Enter the Dragon. I'll take you and you and you and you.
I was like, oh.
Please understand if I missed anybody. It's been a big day. I'm a little tired.
He wrecked their ass. That's why Mr. Hahn killed him. He didn't leave nothing else. Mr. Hahn came to the goddamn shit. Miss Fung Sa, Su Hee, what? Tell Williams to come to my office. Fuck that. He fucked all the bitches. He put on that hand and fucked them up. I wasn't over no drugs. No, you must stay. He said, a human fly. Man, listen. Salute to Jim Kelly. God damn it.
Hey, and Drew, listen to this. Everybody was talking about Larry Holmes was hating on Mike Tyson, but he was the one predicting Tyson to.
Yeah.
He predicted it.
Yeah.
Yep,
he sure
predicted
did.
Larry Holmes.
He sure did. Because, if we see it, these athletes see it all the time. And what Mike did, what do everyone say about Mike? Everyone says, had Customato not died, he wouldn't have went off of that deep end. But Customato was old, man. People
Got rid of Kevin Rooney. Got rid of Kevin Rooney, and you can't have it both ways. That's what I'm saying. The excuses for Mike. I know we love him, but then they blame Don King for his behavior. I say, look, man, Mike's a grown man. He's a grown man. He make his own decisions, man. You said you got rid of Kevin Rooney. Cost died. The shit with Teddy Atlas happened. You blame Don King for bad behavior. I mean, Don King wasn't there when he was running up in those clubs bullying people. Don King wasn't there. He wasn't there for none of that shit. Don King was like, I better not be anywhere. I done beat him. I beat a murder charge, B. I ain't fucking off now. Fuck that. So, salute to Mike Tyson. I'm happy to see him now. I'm happy to see Evander. And, they seem to have all their marbles after all those shots, and I'm happy for everybody. Before we get out of here, I was talking to, yo, Tay, you in the building? I saw him earlier. Let me text Tay Jones real quick. My brother Tay Jones sent me the ultimate text earlier today. I was in the gym, right? Let me say this. Isaac Lowe, you's a whole bitch. I'm gonna put y'all on to something. I always tell y'all, I know some shit. Hold up. There's a lot of shit that happens that I don't say, I don't talk about, because it's not my business. It's not my news to spill out. So Tay Jones hits me up. Gerard, salute, Harlem in the building. And Isaac Lowe, that hobbit-looking motherfucker, fought on Fury's undercard last night. Now, you notice I ain't do no videos about Derek Chisora or Fury. Let me go on record. For those of you who are watching me for the first time, anywhere in this world, I don't like Tyson Fury. There. So anything I say about him is coming from a place of bias. So now that we've gotten that out the way, all right? Fuck him and everything he stands for. I didn't care about what happened between him and Derek Chisora. Other than that, I was rooting for Chisora. I fucks with Del Boy over here. But on paper, you knew he wasn't going to win that fight. But salute to Derek. I'm glad he made some money. And, he did the best he could. But fuck Tyson Fury. So you ain't got to come in my comment section talking about, oh, you biased. Yes. Speaking of drug cheats. Yes, I am. Motherfuck him.
I heard Isaac Lowe fought on the undercard. So Tay Jones says something. And if y'all don't know, there was a rift going on between him and Tay. Let me just give y'all the short version, because I ain't gonna keep y'all. Tay been wanting to fight this motherfucker goddamn 2 years. I've seen the conversations. I actually heard the conversations over the phone. All right? Whoever's responsible for handling Isaac Lowe's business, I heard the man tell him no. He's not available. But turned around and fought. Tay, I'm talking. Tay, I'm talking about you. If you're available, let me know. I'll drop you a link. This motherfucker got wind. Yeah, I'm talking about the Isaac Lowe shit, fam. I'm talking about the Isaac Lowe shit. Let me drop Tay this link real quick. I'm gonna let him tell the story. Because I just dropped your link, bro. He can tell it better than I can. Just know this. Isaac Lowe, you's a bitch. You can't say that no one wasn't trying to fight you because I heard it and I seen all the evidence. This is why it's always good to have someone back you up with stuff and leave your paperwork with somebody just in case. Now, this motherfucker can never say that, hey, I didn't know. And Isaac Lowe gonna act like this is out of nowhere. It's not out of nowhere, y'all. Don't let him tell you that. If you listen to that motherfucker anywhere on social media, this motherfucker standing with that fat faggot Dr. Ooze. You know the secret of the Ooze? The guy that tells UK people, yo, if you get caught by UCAD cheating, you got to be dumb. Remember that? Remember that guy? He's pictured with him. All right? Here's Tay right here. Tay in the building. Salute.
Oh man, what's good, bro?
Yeah, let's cook this piece of shit real quick. Isaac Lowe.
Oh yeah. What about him?
Bring the family up to speed.
Oh yeah. So all this started out when we was in at the press conference in LA. You know, we started at the press conference in LA, of course. You know,
What's up, Tay?
What's up, Trick? What's up, Stormy? My bad, man. What's up, fellas? What's going on?
What's good with you, bro?
You good? You good?
Just
How that
life.
baby doing, man? How the little girl doing?
Man, I just got done changing diaper.
Gonna be a lot of that.
Yeah,
A lot of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of it. Yeah. So we go to LA for the press conference with Deontay and Fury for the trilogy fight or whatever like that. And I think this was like last June, early June, somewhere along in there. And
Mr. Frodo looking ass. This motherfucker.
And make a long story short, he was saying a couple things on stage. Of course, I was saying a couple things on stage, but he tried to take it a little bit further by saying some other things. And of course, I think Peter Fear, not Peter, but whatever his brother name, I forget his name, but he was saying something like, we don't have to fight in the ring, because he was talking to Chris, and we don't have to fight in the ring, we can fight outside. And then of course he was like, yeah, me, that's my type of language. So I'm like, shit, let's do it, And of course, they broke everybody out, and then everybody went their way. But he still had a lot to say. So I was just like, you know what? Originally, I know I fight at 140, but I can get down to 35. I've even been 130 before, just training miraculously hard. And I was like, well, shit, I'll fight him. I'll fight him. And then, of course, I hit him a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? I hit him a couple of times. And he was just like, he never responded. So I know somebody who knew his manager. So I contacted his manager, like I got his manager number. And so I was just like, listen, man, you know, let's make this fight. You know, he had a lot of who rah to say at, you know, at the press conference, let's make it happen. Then at first he was just like, well, we got to see what's going on, things of that nature. I contact you in about a month. So at this time, I'm like, a month, you know, they supposed to fight in July. So I'm like, no, let's get it popping. So I called again. And this time I was like, I say, Drew, I want you to hit this for yourself. I said, I want you to hit this for yourself. So I called him up, called his manager named Lee Ayton. And I called Lee. I'm like, what's good? What's going on, man? He was like, yeah, man, we won't be able to do that right now because he got a title eliminator coming up. I'm like, a title eliminator? I'm like, listen, he just fought a guy with a less than 7 to 8 fights. Now you talking about a title eliminator. Not only that, he been off for a whole year. You talking about a title eliminator? So what does he do? He go to the title eliminator, get his ass whooped. And then I believe he just fought not too long ago, got his ass whooped again. So I'm like, listen, man, you know, that could have been my old, because I know what I want to do to him and how I want to do it, you know, in the fashion that I want to do it. And that's how that happened, you know what I'm saying? But yesterday, I fought, like I say, you know, people probably don't believe me or whatever, but the doctor, who everybody was talking about, what's his name? Not Nigel Ben, but Conor Ben and Tyson.
Dr. Uzi.
Dr. Uzi, he follows me, and I follow him. A lot of people didn't know that, and so I've been following him since everything happened, the second fight. So I've been knew of him, and so he posted Isaac Lowe last night, and I was like, he's still a bum. I'll beat his ass. So I guess, you know, Dr. U must have showed him, because when I woke up this morning, he was in my inbox. So I had to hit him with you know me, let's get it cracking. So, you know, that's where it's at now.
I just DM'd him on the gram. I know he's like, who the fuck is this guy? But I just said to him, fight Tay Jones, stop lying on his name. No need to act tough. Just take care of business. That's respectful. Yeah, but I know he probably got someone else running his DMs. He got 61,000 followers. I don't know how.
Yeah, but see, I put it on Twitter and I tagged his manager, so his manager can't lie either.
These motherfuckers been lying.
But this the crazy part about it, right? This the crazy part about it. He said something about, let me see what the message said. He said something about some money or something like that. I said, whoa, money not an issue. Money's not an issue. I said, but we could have fought. We could have actually fought on the undercard, but your scary ass manager said no. I said, but what'd I say? Yeah, he said something about some money. He said, come back when you got some money. I said, money. But
yeah,
see,
I'm reading it.
But see, what he don't know is my oldest brother, he getting ready to have a celebrity boxing match, and that's going to be on Barstool. So Barstool already want to give a bag to me anyway. Then on top of that, if he really want to do it, hey, we probably going to have the Fury and Deontay Wilder 4 fight, so we can do it on that any day. And he came up to 130 pounds, so it's no problem. And I'm fresh out of car accident, and I'm gonna beat his ass.
Motherfucker said, you're a little ugly prick. I slap you to next year, you bum boy. As I see you got pounds. When you get some, come back to the big boys. If not, go suck your boyfriend's prick. He must have been typing fast. Look, man, all this talking makes for good drama. Settle it in the ring, Isaac. But be warned, don't lie. We have it in black and white. And this ain't the fucking first time y'all had it. This ain't the first time you've been in touch with this guy.
Right.
I know that for a fact. I know. So cut the bullshit. You like your buddy Tyson Fury throws you on his fucking undercards, right? So if because you know D's gonna have to go to the UK to fight if they fight a 4th time, because y'all motherfuckers can't come here. So you can fight Tay Jones on the undercard, motherfucker. Stop playing. Make life happen. But all this talking tough, you fucking hobbit. You fucking hobbit. What the fuck? See, this the shit I don't respect. You talking tough. As if this man ain't been wanting to fight you for goddamn how long? 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years now. 2 years.
Come on, man. Why you acting like you don't know? How much drugs was you on? Did Dr. Uzi show you how to beat a fucking drug test before you got in the ring last night? You fucking bitch. I don't trust anything over there. On top of that, I'm so frustrated with everything over there, man. Listen, on top of that, you motherfuckers come from a culture of bullshit. Every last one of you. All of you. Marcellus won't smoke with Tommy. So while I'm at it, I'm going to push for that. While I'm at it. Fuck around, it's going to be a family affair. Fuck around, it's going to be a family affair. Y'all need to stop bullshitting, man. We see you. Dumbass. Why you act like motherfuckers ain't saying your name? Stupid. You fucking heavy foot hobbit. Cut that bullshit out, man. Mr. Frodo! Mr. Frodo!
He
You got a heart
burns
to Jay
us.
Jones! Mr. Frodo! Mr. Frodo! Motherfucker, get the fuck out of here. Stop acting, B. Don't act brand new like this shit ain't been going on. This ain't been the top of the conversation. I've seen and heard everything. Everything. It's just not for me to spill the beans, but you know what? Nah, you done stepped in it now. I don't troll. I'm just going to point out the truth. But you fired back, and this is really clever, calling people ugly little pricks and all the shit and whatever, man. Look, get your money up. So when the money shows up, don't duck no smoke.
Man, listen, Lee Ayton got a promotion company over there. You know what I mean? He got a promotion company. Barstool willing to pull up the money. So it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. All he got to do is just fight like I told him. Just make sure you get back in the gym because I'm going to severely beat your ass. I told him that.
That's on God. My brother Divine Sense in the building, he said competition done. First place. My man got first place. First place. I got my money and chilling on the beach. Mojito and a fine biatch sitting on my lap. Life is good. Thank you to the family for the support. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. First place. That's how you end the year. Yo, he's on the beach, y'all. It's fucking 35 degrees outside. Divine is on the beach. God damn it. I'm hating. You on the beach, my man? Yo, enjoy it, man. Oh, since we on the topic, yeah. Usyk want to show up in the UK, but he couldn't find Brooklyn. He landed in Los Angeles something about Barclays? Barclays what? Barclay Street? Barclay Ave? No, Barclays? Motherfucker. That is 4 hours on the flight in the other direction. We were looking for him. I was excited. I wanted to meet Usyk. I like Usyk. I'm like, where he at? I look online. He's in California. Why is he there? But his ass showed up. His ass showed up to Fury's fight. Come on, Oleg. Come on, man. The year's ending. I'm starting with the bullshit already. Here we go. Don't worry. We here.
Yeah, his manager said that he will never let him fight D.
He said that?
His manager said that. I did a video on it.
But I'm saying, like, he didn't like nudge, wink, wink behind the scenes. He said it out loud.
Yeah, he was actually talking to someone from the team, and he didn't know that. Yeah, I did a video. You can go listen to the video. I did the video on last week.
Yo, you talking to somebody you don't know. You talking to the team?
Yeah, real talk. Yeah. Hey, D was upset when he called me, and I'm like, "It was good." He was like, "Man, I'm so sick of these motherfuckers." That's what he was telling me. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what happened. That's how it went down.
Hey, Drew, I can get it. I can try to get Usyk manager on the show. I'll talk to him. Yeah, I'll talk to him on the phone a couple of times. I ain't gonna call him no more, man. That phone call cost me a little money, so I'll call him no more.
Shit, I'll call him.
So I'll call him. Yeah, I can get in touch with him. Try to get him on.
Why he say he would never let him fight D?
Man, the cover, like I say, I even did the video. He even said that he was taking, you know, Usyk said that, but he was just saying that, you know, right now he wouldn't let D fight him too big, too strong, and he also had said that even if the only way we'll fight Deontay if it was only way we'll fight Deontay if it was mandatory, and even if it was mandatory, we may even vacate. Those were the words out of his mouth. Yeah, I did a video on it.
Take that.
I did it. Man, listen, when y'all get a chance, get D on the show. He'll tell you himself. I'm telling you, that's what he told me.
You know what I got to say about that, man?
What's that?
Takes me back to the Barry White song. Let me change the lyrics up a little bit. His sweetness is his weakness. Yeah.
Crazy.
These dudes ain't got no nuts, man. No nuts.
That's what was told to me. You know what I'm saying?
The wrong damn sport, man.
They want to put Usyk in the same sentence with Evander Holyfield. You see why I tell motherfuckers pump the brakes?
Yep.
Evander would have fought D at least twice by now.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure.
Come on, man. Lennox Lewis fights Deontay at least by now. Come on.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah.
What are these guys doing?
Nothing.
Either they ducking or they on drugs. Come on, man.
They both.
There it is.
Yeah, I did it. Like I said, I did a video on it. You know what I'm saying? I think it was like last Monday. Well, my wife not down here, but yeah, my wife heard it too. Ain't no reason. It's the truth. You know, and the only reason why, you know, Andy Ruiz, you know, we never know Andy Ruiz talk as much shit as he's talking now. But, you know, he's been saying a lot. Of course, he's been across the pond trying to sell himself to get the fight. But Andy Ruiz really doing all this because he's going broke, so he need the money.
No.
Yeah, I mean, realistically. But, you know, we trying to make the fight with Joshua. Joshua talking about fighting Dillian White. But every time they come, they always try to point D and make it seem like it's Deontay's fault. But, you know, at the end of the day, they always come when we are already busy. For people who don't know, the Fury fight was actually supposed to be the two to three fight deal from the beginning. I think I mentioned that to Drew plenty of times.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That was supposed to be a 2-3 fight from the beginning. But then you got certain content creators. Man, we deserve to fight. We need to fight. Well, just sign the contract. Stop acting like a diva. But bro, you have no clue what you're talking about, because this fight was supposed to be a 2 to 3 fight deal from the very, very first beginning. So Eddie Hearn, again, even when we had the Hellenians, the only person who really knew about that across the pond was Frank Warren. Frank Warren opened his big ass mouth, and then of course here come Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said, "Well, we trying to make a fight with Deontay," which determined to be a lie. Anthony Joshua, right-hand man, personally called me, and I played the audio when he stated that Eddie Hearn was actually calling, trying to make a fight with Deontay and Chisora. So which one is it?
Oh shit!
So
y'all peep that?
So you see what I'm saying? They always want to. They use Deontay's name. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? They just use his name, and that's just the truth. But Eddie Hearn has always came when everybody was busy.
Everybody was busy.
But then when we wasn't busy, he threw a low ball offer, the lowest offer that he paid any of all the other champions that Joshua did fight that was supposed to fight us first. See what I'm saying?
Cloud chasing 101.
Yeah, but they're not gonna tell the truth. You see what I'm saying? I even in the fact that I know we're trying to make a fight with them. Guess what? I hit Anthony Joshua right hand man and asked him, "Hey man, so what y'all gonna do?" Because every time y'all contact D, we always busy. Now that we ain't busy, we trying to make the fight. So what y'all gonna do? Guess what he did? left me on red.
Y'all absorbing this?
It's just the truth, man.
Y'all understand? That dude don't want to fight. The dude does not want to fight. That's right, Shara. Run that goddamn fax machine. Run it through the fax.
That's right. Got to run it through the fax machine. Everything gonna check out right. You know.
Yo, oh my God, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Isaac don't want to fight you.
I mean, it's Lee Ayton don't want to fight either. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, Lee Ayton got his own promotion company now over there in the UK. This I know for a fact.
I didn't know that.
He told L-Dub maybe like 2 weeks ago, that's not a fight we're interested in right now.
Why? Come on now, you fresh off a car accident. Now's a good time to get you.
That right. Sure is.
Yeah, it's a good time to get you now. Come on now.
Sure is.
You could barely walk.
That right.
You got a newborn. You distracted.
Right. Yep. All that.
Go get him.
But he better
go get him, Bomb Squad.
But one thing about it, he better train like his life is dependent on it, because his life do depend on it.
Bro. First off, I want to know, can he fly over here?
Who knows? But what I do know is I'm gonna call Lee tonight too. I'm gonna call him tonight.
Bro. What I do know is if he agrees and you say, okay, all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, let's fight in Atlanta. Sorry, no Atlanta. All right, let's fight in New York, California, Texas, Miami. No, listen, we can't come here. Why not? Let me find out that motherfucker can't fly here. Let me find out that motherfucker can't fly here. Let me find out the only way that fight happens is if you have to go over there.
And I will.
I know. And while we on that, Marcel, I got to get Marcellus on the show because he want that Tommy fight really bad. He want that smoke with Tommy really bad.
Marcellus really he don't really talk though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He really don't. He will talk that. He will talk now. But you know what I'm saying? He should be doing him. You feel me?
I told him, I said, yo, man, you really want that smoke? You know me, I'll push it. I'll push it. I don't like nothing going on over there anyway. There's nothing about what they got going on over there that I fucks with at all. Fuck them, for real.
Right.
So you know, I put it out there. I just DM Low. I'll go to Tommy Fury and be like, look, you fucking thong wearing, man kissing, booty clapping, fucking demon from hell.
Yeah, they
Marcellus, you fucking skirt wearing, fucking river dance, motherfucking ball slapping, dick soup sitting in looking motherfucker, man. I don't like nothing over there, for real.
We can get it popping though, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got number time right now.
I'm with the shits, man.
Yeah, we can get it popping.
I'm with the shits. I'm with the shits, man. You know, so let's do it, man. I will DM him once a day. The same thing.
I'm finna call his manager.
Right now?
No, not right now. I'm finna pull it up. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, I got his manager number. Hey man, let's get this shit popping. I'm telling you.
So your event coming up, when is that?
It's later on in the year. I do know that because I know my brother. He got a celebrity. Matter of fact, he got a celebrity boxing match this weekend. He got a celebrity boxing match this weekend. So probably sometime in the summertime like that, because he did mention to me that he wanted me to be on the card, get some of that lucrative celebrity boxing match money.
Yeah. Hey man, that's what's up, man.
Yeah. I'm surprised he asked, because we, like I said, we two different people. You know what I mean? And he do his thing, I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know, but that's my brother. But you know, at the end of the day, it's just we different. You know what I mean? We're two different people.
It's all good, but you know, teamwork makes the dream work. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's a quick money grab. You know anything about an opponent?
Nah. It's like a one round, 1 minute rounds or something like that. 3 1 minute rounds.
It's
Yeah,
sparring basically.
Yeah, we get into the money, man. You know.
Nah, that's what's up. Yeah, man. Yeah, Judah Ben. I'm about to. You know what? I'm not even gonna call it. I don't even call it trolling. I'm just gonna ask him a question. I asked him to stop lying on my boy's name and get to the business. All this trash talking, you ain't got to do that. Get to the business. And don't act like your name ain't been said for 2 years. I've seen the receipts. I've seen it. You told this man no. It went on to have 3 fights, 2 of which he lost. He just got back in the winner's side yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So his boy's giving him a lot of work, but not the work that he's supposed to be getting. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, man. But Tay, you get on this. I'm gonna stay on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Let me see. Uh-oh.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah, I'm about to call him. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to call him, see what we got going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call him. Yeah. I'm gonna call him, see what's going on. I just got the number back. Yeah, I'm gonna call him and see what's going on.
Yeah, hit that boy.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that boy. When you going live next?
Probably in a few, man. I gotta salute Deion Sanders, you know what I'm saying, getting that job with Colorado. So I'm gonna do something different this time. I'm gonna bring on one of the former players from Jackson State University.
That's what's up.
Because a lot of people who haven't even been to HBCU, or a lot of African American people have the worst to say about Deion, but the people who actually played there and went there, they say different. So I'm gonna talk about that. Then of course, I fell asleep. I didn't even get a chance to watch the Fury fight. I fell asleep on that shit. So I'm gonna talk about the fight that I did see last night, which I thought was a good fight with Chocolatito. So,
man, I ain't even gonna go there, man. Yeah. Look, again, if you're finding me for the first time, don't ever count on me saying anything positive about Tyson Fury. Yes.
Hey, anybody find it weird that he didn't knock out Chisora?
What?
Man, I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing around. I'm just playing around.
I might just cook him for 2 hours tomorrow. Just because.
I'm just playing, dog. I'm just playing. Cause people, you still salty. No, I'm not salty. I just thought it was funny because you had people on the actual who was commentating the fight saying that they should stop it. No. Remember, he's a knockout artist. He's a one-punch power fighter. He can do this. Let him do it. But I believe he just didn't have he didn't have a lot of juice yesterday. So, and this is the second time that he has to get that elbow fixed after the fight. Now, what's going on with that elbow?
What's going on with that elbow, man?
But I'm just gonna be quiet. I'm gonna get up out of here. You see what I'm saying? I might be causing trouble.
But y'all overlooking important factors like the hellified coaching job that Sugar Hill did, man. I mean,
magnificent.
It's like the game plan against Chisora devised by Sugar Hill was like nothing I've seen before in boxing. Huh? It's like, wow, what a mind fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook on him tomorrow just because. Listen, tomorrow it's gonna be about Fury. I'm just gonna be hating on him. I'm just letting y'all know. Don't look for any education. Don't look for nothing of substance. I'm just gonna shit all over him because
it's just. I'm just saying.
And Drew, I got a new meme for you. I'm gonna give you an idea for a new meme.
Knowing what I know, you know what I'm saying. I just throw things out there so people can pay attention to those
Yep.
type of things. But little old Tay don't know what he's talking about. But when I told you guys about the elbow, well, he came out 2-3 weeks after the fight stating that his elbow was hurting. So I don't know what I'm talking about though. So
Kind of like that little itch under the nose, huh? Like
yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah. That
The dose
So
of Monday.
yeah. It's just like I said before. It's funny to me because things that I say that I know, and I try to put it in perspective, and people don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't see it, because when you put it in perspective, it looks like a whole bunch of shit to me. And the reason that people don't see it possibly is because they got their fucking heads so far up their ass, they can't tell the difference. Yeah.
I might do a whole my whole live in a shitty British accent tomorrow. I might. I'm just gonna troll tomorrow. I don't give a fuck.
Man, like I say, man, I'm just stating out the obvious. He was a knockout puncher. It's the Kronk style. He can, it's just all this stuff. But here you fight Chisora, who got 13 losses, and he's tough as nails, and you couldn't get him out. Huh?
Dillian White knocked him cold.
Slept him bad. The body snatcher.
Come on now. Come on.
88 Sports talking that super chat. He said, elbow my ass. You're trying to cycle off them drugs. Bruh. All he got to do is retire one more time and he won't get tested. But Dr. Ooze is there. He shows him how to beat drug tests. He's sitting right there in the front row. Yo, you know what my title? Yo, you want to talk about clickbait? Tomorrow, I'm going to put a big old picture of Fury with the Union Jack behind him. And it's going to say, fuck that, Tyson Fury's my favorite fighter. That's going to be the title of my live tomorrow. Watch that. And super clickbait. I want all you motherfucking UK fools in there. What? What happened to Drew? Nothing. I want you to hear me shit on him for 2 hours. Yep.
But yeah, man. I'm just, I was thoroughly impressed. I was thoroughly impressed.
It was a outstanding performance by Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury.
I was thoroughly impressed because like I said before, I just, out of nowhere, he just got this power and just knock out everybody. And Chisora, who's 38, damn near 40 or 45, however old he is, 13 losses. Now, I'm not saying that he's a bomb. No, I'm not saying that because he's definitely fought some of the best in the heavyweight division. But what I am saying, my God, is fucking Chisora.
He was supposed to sleep him in 3 rounds. A power puncher, Kronk style.
Yeah.
Drugs, gloves. He was supposed to sleep him in 2 to 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Man. Troy Battle says, do we give Usyk a pass? Nah, brother, nope. Nah. I know you probably just got here. I know you just got here, but...
Though he wanted to fight Wilder.
No.
Nah,
Troy, you just got here, bro. We just dropped some news.
Yeah, he didn't want to. Or at least his manager didn't want him to.
So there it is. Fuck that. But we gonna get up out of here. Tell you, when you go live, let me know. I'm already, I got the bell icon up, so I'll be in the chat.
For sure. Yes, sir.
Let them know how they can find you for those that don't know.
On the channel, Pac-Man ATL _Tay. I'm still gonna keep it original, but on Twitter, _Tay Jones. Yes, sir.
Stormy, let them know, bro.
I'm right here on YouTube, man. Stormy B-Man is the channel. We got a lot of stuff going down. Got premieres happening pretty much this week.
Yes.
And ready to lay it down, man. Oh, Tuesday Tussle. I'm having George on Tuesday. George Jakovic.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. George is that guy. Y'all make sure you subscribe to George Jakovich, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to Bone Crusher Smith. We definitely gonna have him back. I'm gonna make it out to South Carolina for that Hall of Fame out there, man. That's gonna be real dope. And I'm trolling tomorrow, y'all. Y'all not gonna find anything. If you're looking to learn something tomorrow, you might as well just skip the show. I'm trolling something fierce tomorrow. It's gonna be retarded. Matter of fact, I'm gonna set up the live right now. People are gonna be confused. People that are not here, they're gonna look at that and be like, "What?" Yeah. Well, let me second think that, because what I'm thinking about putting, I can't even joke like that. Because it'll turn. I'll have diarrhea all night. Like, please, I'll be vomiting, like projectile vomit, like the fucking Exorcist. Head spinning. I can't do it. But I'll be trolling tomorrow. All right. Fury is the target as usual. Whatever. He always makes for a good 2,000 views. I get a bunch of UK goons calling in. So you're hating drill. Yeah, I am. And you like drug addicts. So I do what I want. I'm going to the fucking gym.
Somebody wrote in my my comment section after the chop session, not chop session, but the post fight last night. Somebody wrote in the chat saying, "Oh, I love when you guys get in your feelings about Fury," and then wrote something about, "What about when Hopkins was, doing it?" I was like, I went to the channel, no subs, no memberships, nothing like that. And of course, you know what happened with that after that. Mutombo came out.
They're right.
Mutombo came out. Try again.
Right.
They killed me, man. It's like, what?
Not today.
Yeah. What are you doing hanging around my channel for? Huh? Sniffing around. Ain't no dog shit around my channel.
Yeah.
So flies be gone. I said.
That's okay. It's a view. Sniff my nuts.
Mm-hmm.
They smell like Muslim oil.
And make a new account and try again.
Muslim oils be hitting, boy. If y'all don't know, the Muslim oils be hitting. They smell great. I put them on my balls specifically for you motherfuckers. But we gonna get out of here. Salute to everybody in Venmo, other Cash App. Subscribe to Stormy, Tay Jones, George. And if you a content creator, you family, do not hesitate to put your link in the chat, man. We trying to build out here. Yo, Tay, I'll see you soon on your live, brother.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Salute
Ross
to you.
on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.